As you all know, I like these little small fans. Remember this one? With the digital screen right there when I turn it on, it kind of shows you 100 and speeds and has a total of 100 speeds and all that. The only downside to this machine right here is that it's very difficult to pull it apart. In fact, it's completely sealed. So when it gets dirty, you would have to just use an air duster and kind of blow in there and blow on the blades and get all the dust out that way, which is really unfortunate. It was never meant to be pulled apart. Since that time, I've seen a dozen of these, and they do have one where you can pull the cover off of it and clean it, but it's USB. It's not battery operated. Well, right here I have one that actually oscillates, and another one like this. And unfortunately, the other one like this is the exact same. Well, it's not exactly the same thing, but it's sealed. Like, you can't get in there and clean it. But the one that oscillates, I think there is a way you can open it up and clean it. And then the other one I told you about, well, that thing is USB, and I'm not looking for a USB where I have to plug it into a computer or a power bank. I'm looking for something that's rechargeable. So that aside, and that's it. Let's open these up and let's see what we're dealing with. You should be happy. It's a fan video, right? Wow. All right. We get to see a fan video today. We're happy. So we're going to leave good and happy comments about the fan today, because I'm happy I get to see a fan video. All right. Here we go. Now, there are going to be two separate individual videos on these machines. Okay, so the video I'm doing now, I'm not going to unbox both of these on this one video. Only one of them on this video. And then the second one will be a separate video. Okay, so we're going to unbox. I'm going to unbox this one first in this video. And then we'll have a separate video with the other one that oscillates. So with that being said, and that aside, it's very similar to the other one I have, but it's a little bit different. But we'll do a comparison between all three, but maybe a little bit later on tonight when I'm recording the studio. I don't have time right now. I gotta try to prepare for work. So quickly, let's get this unboxed and see what we're doing with it. Now here's your manual. Model number A220 desktop fan. There it is, 100%, not battery power, but just the speeds. And it's not percent, it's actually 100 speeds. At least that's what they claim. You use the manual. It does have a thing for the battery source right above it. And here's your baby cord of a USB-C to USB-A charger. Now, if you look at it, you can see that this is solid. This is all solid. This whole thing is, there's no screw under that will suggest that you can pull the cover apart and that you can clean it. There's nothing on here that suggests that. This whole thing is 100% solid. It's 100. Now, there is a seam right here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a seam. So I don't know if there's some kind of way you can pull this off. I don't know if that's integrated. I believe that is. Yeah, it's integrated. So this whole thing is solid. So just like the other one, you have to get your air can or electric air can if you have one, or a battery operated, whatever, and just kind of blow in there and blow the dust out of the fan that way. There's no real way to get to the blade and service it. That's really unfortunate. That really sucks. This one's a little bit different. It has the controls on the bottom here. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to run this thing on the table, and then we're going to do a separate video of the other one. Hold on. All right, let's get ready to run it, and let's see how this does. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see it while I'm running it.
It's still going to be bringing multiple days of rain. You can see, though, it is still in the lower category for now, still at that 30% chance. But because we have that slight uptick from yesterday to today, it's trending in the direction that they're going to continue to upgrade it a little bit more. Some of the models have shown that widespread rotation, but again, we're not expecting this to be a very strong hurricane by any means. Shouldn't even get to that point. If anything, it would just be a low-end tropical depression or potentially a tropical storm, or we could just get to that subtropical category. Both of those would get named, whether it's subtropical or tropical, and there's really not too much of a difference between the two, just in terms of the impacts here. For this weekend, we have two separate highs that are battling it out over this storm. One over the Atlantic, which is trending a little bit weaker, and then a stronger high over portions of the southern plains. Now, whichever high wins out would be more of an indication as to where a lot of the heavy rain goes. If it's the high over the Gulf, it'll pull things a bit further off towards the Gulf and then the west coast of Florida. If it's the high over the Atlantic, it will pull things off towards the western side and up the Atlantic coast. Now, while the Atlantic high is a little bit weaker, it still has been sort of trending towards that direction, at least with
So it's quite powerful.
at one point it was really
You should be able to hear the wind stream.
heavy rains
And unlike the other one, it's pretty much the same, with the exception of it has LED around it, kind of wrapped around the 100%, not 100%, the 100 speeds, so-called speeds. And they claim this thing throws a lot of air. Well, for a little small fan, a little 4 or 5 inch fan, yeah, I guess you can say it only has like 6 watts, 5 volts, 5 volts, 2 amp charging, and then 6 watts. All right, we're gonna spin it down.
They say no vouchers, no food, no hotel. You guys gotta stay here if need be. So this is crazy. I've never been through this in my life.
It's just been rough traveling 10-year-olds and going back and forward, and there's not really much communication about just what's going on in the airport.
It's kind of unreal. It's kind of, you can tell people are getting on flights now because it's thinning out. But when we first came in this morning, I mean, you couldn't even maneuver.
Traveling through Atlanta has been a very tall task this week. We've had a few meteorologists here, Foxwell, they're alone, that have been battling through the lines at Atlanta, had flights canceled. It was a severe thunderstorm that swept through the area over the weekend.
Did I just see that right?
Over the airport.
Oh my goodness, this thing spins counterclockwise.
That was there.
I've been looking for a fan like that for a long time.
Face even more storms ahead of the holidays.
Wow.
It takes careful coordination, planning to keep an airport.
Sorry for all the zooming in, zooming out, because the way Apple has his camera set up, that if you zoom in real close on the subject, my audio won't sound right. So if the audio sounds weird, it's because I'm trying to adjust it. It's kind of weird how they have this camera set up with the audio. I don't understand why they did it that way, but that is so cool. This fan spins counterclockwise. I thought I saw that. I was like, wait a minute, did I see that right? So I turned it on again, I turned it off, and sure enough, it spins counterclockwise. My favorite direction. Very hard to find a fan that spins backwards and move the air forward. That is so cool.
With weather coming through the Atlanta area, and then those delays, those cancellations continued on through the weekend. But at this point in time, the airlines have largely recovered from that. But it was definitely a challenge. Definitely a lot thrown at us in a short amount of time. But it took the entire team kind of pulling together.
Yep. Counterclockwise. There you go. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Lamont the Fan Man, and by far this is probably gonna be my favorite fan because it spins counterclockwise and it's pretty strong.